sports fans, ASMR Sports, back in your business. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to have a little bit of a throwback today. Staring at all these cases of 89 Donruss baseball that I purchased made me kind of hanker for something with some Ken Griffey Jr. rookies, and I actually was I didn't look too hard, but I took a look at where I thought I might find some 1989 Donruss like boxes that are unwrapped, that haven't been authenticated by Baseball Card Exchange, but I didn't see any, so it's very possible that I don't have any. In fact, I don't know that I have. Well, yeah, this may be the only 1989 product, baseball product that I have unwrapped, unauthenticated by Baseball Card Exchange. Right before they kind of shut down their authentication of like lower end boxes, which happened, I don't know, like a year and a half ago. I sent a bunch of stuff in to kind of sneak it past their cutoff, or before their cutoff. However, recently Baseball Card Exchange announced that they're opening up their authentication of like lower end items, to be unrestricted. What happened is they, kind of in the heat of the sports card boom about a year or so ago, they just got inundated with like lots of like kind of low rent boxes, like this kind of stuff. Boxes that are worth like $15. These are worth a bit more, but people would send those in to get authenticated because they only charge like $8 per box to authenticate. So typically they're going to increase the value of your box, more than $8. So it's a no-brainer to kind of send that stuff in. And they just got way too busy. People were sending in everything, they had, and it just was too much volume for them. But they recently opened that back up, I think, because the sports card market is cooled substantially. So volume is presumably down, and they have capacity. This box, 89 Fleer baseball. I think there's some cards on the bottom. This box, the reason it was not submitted to PBCE is because it's kind of ripped a little bit. So it's a good one to crack into, and there are some cards on the bottom here. There's Kirk Gibson, Darryl Strawberry, Chris Sabo. So anyways, what I kind of want to, so this box, I think, came from a lot of about like, I don't know, 10 or 15 of these boxes that I purchased like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And I don't know if I've opened much or maybe any of the boxes that came in that lot. And the big question with 89 Fleer baseball is, what are the Bill Ripken cards look like in here? For those of you who don't know, there's a famous error card, or quote-unquote error card, in this 89 Fleer set that is a card of Bill Ripken, who's the brother of Cal Ripken Jr. And he's holding a bat, and you can see on the knob of the bat it says fuckface. It was a bit of a scandal back in '89, and Fleer quickly kind of basically deleted that knob of the bat. so of this product, and there are different ways that they try to cover it up. Sometimes there's like a little black square over the knob of the bat. Sometimes there was a white square. Sometimes there was like a little cut mark where they like kind of cut the card. So lots of different variations. Some of those variations are extremely rare, but you know, the card that gets the most attention is the original error card. And basically, collectors figured out like which cases of cards have the error in it. Every case of 89 Fleer, Wax, and a lot of the cases of like rack packs and cello, but not all of those cases, but most of those cases and all of the cases of wax boxes have a little like stamp on it, on the case, on the outside of the case, that tells you the date that case was printed. And basically collectors figured out like the latest date in which you could find cards inside that would have the Bill Ripken error. So now, if you have an unopened case of 89 Fleer, you can sort of tell if it has the Bill Ripken F-Face error cards in it or not. Similarly, you can tell, you know, whether another famous card in this set, less famous, but still important, is a Randy Johnson rookie card where there's a billboard in the background that has a Marlboro sign, like ad on it, and Fleer did not like the idea of having a cigarette ad on one of their cards, which is kind of ironic because there are a ton of cards you know, from the 80s that have pictures of Budweiser and, you know, Marlboro and all sorts of stuff like that. So I don't know why Fleer all of a sudden started to care, but they did. And so they made basically changes to that Randy Johnson card. And that's important because, you know, Randy Johnson is a Hall of Fame pitcher, and that's his rookie card. So that's why that one matters. Bill Ripken is not really a player of much import. So anyways, you got those two error cards. And in order to get the Randy Johnson Marlboro error, and again, there's lots of variations of that one too, but to get the like sort of important one, which is the one where you can see Marlboro very clearly, you have to have actually a really early print date of this product, even earlier than what's necessary to find Bill Ripken cards. So anyways, here's the thing. You have to have, you know to know that you have to see the stamp on the case a box came from in order to tell, you know, when it was printed. If you just have the box, you don't really have any clue whether it's an early print box, late print box, or somewhere in between. So that's why these boxes that I have that came to me in a group, and I would presume probably came, you know, from the same case, maybe not, but probably a fair chance that they were mostly together. So all these boxes I got in that one purchase, you know, are likely to be of a similar print date, and I have no idea if that print date is early, late, or whatever. So by opening this and seeing what's inside, and hopefully hitting a Bill Ripken card, I will be able to tell what the other boxes perhaps contain. So that's what we're doing here today. That was a long way of explaining that, but I think you now know a lot of useful information about 89 Fleer. As a consequence. Of course, you can get Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards in this product, and I actually got one. So I opened. I have a video of me opening a box of this stuff that I got from a card shop in Minneapolis. Actually, it's in Bloomington, which is a suburb. Like a couple years ago, where they had, the case that the boxes came from, and it was a relatively early print, and so they were being sold at a premium, as Bill Ripken era cases. So I opened that, I pulled a Bill Ripken error, sent that in, got a PSA 10 on that one. So that was really nice. I ended up selling that for, I don't know, like $250, $300 or something. I'm pretty sure it's worth more now. Those are pretty hard to gem. So that was a pretty sweet card. But I paid for that box. I probably paid under $100, which is a really good deal. But it was quite some time ago. But I also got a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie out of there that I thought was like freaking, it was perfect. Like, it was well centered, corners were super sharp. I mean, the edges on this stuff are all pretty much the same. They're a little bit, kind of imperfect because that's just the way this product was. But anyways, that Griffey got a 9, but I got a 10 on the Ripken, so that's probably a better outcome than the other way around, but I would have loved to have had a PSA 10 Griffey Jr. rookie. Oh. So far, we have not gotten a Griffey, a Ripken, or Randy Johnson. Got no Ryan though. So most of the boxes that I got, that's a nice Sheffield rookie. Most of the boxes that I got from the purchase this one would have come from, I did send off to Baseball Card Exchange to get authenticated, so they have looked through those and confirmed that, everything was unopened, and then seal them up as they do. So I know the boxes are good in terms of having sealed pack. What you don't know is, did somebody go through at some point, in the last 30 years and pull out packs that they knew because of sequencing or whatever, contained the Griffey Jr. rookie cards. Really impossible to tell, I guess, unless you know the sequencing of things. I'll definitely be suspicious if I don't get a Griffey or a Ripken anywhere in here. But we've got quite a ways to go. Bonnies. So if I pull a Ripken error, that's going to be a pretty good sign for me, because I got a ton of these boxes sitting around, in Baseball Card Exchange wrapping. Now, I can't really sell them as error boxes because, there's no way to prove it, but if you guys were interested, I could probably list some and you could try your hand at them if you wanted to crack them, or you could hang on to them, but, you're not going to be able to sell them at a premium either. George Brett, Greg Biggio, rookie card right there. I'll take Beige. Out. everybody's doing well. You know, the COVID numbers in the U.S. are certainly on the way down, which is a welcome sign. You sort of knew what was going to happen because, you know, Omicron hit the U.S. This one was like an uncorrected error. Like, they put rookie there, which they didn't do on any other cards. I'm pretty sure that was an uncorrected error, but I remember that one from back in the day. Anyways, yeah, Omicron has sort of hit its peak in the U.S. in my neck of the woods. I live in North Dakota, for those who don't know. It's sort of following the U.S. trend. We were a little bit late in our spike, but we're, you know, coming down fairly rapidly in terms of case numbers, and that's a welcome sign for me. I was just looking at like a graph of, you know, like cases in our state and noticing, like, man, how like frickin' I guess good it was back in the summer of 2021. So just this last summer, you know, like in June and July, we had like 2 or 3 cases a day for like a month. So, like, you know, the risk of running into anybody that had it were very low. Although I gotta say, I think it was like this last summer, I was I have a friend who has a cafe in town, and, you know, when the case numbers were very low, I got a little more adventurous and, you know, went to this cafe a few times to hang out. Usually, like, kind of during, you know, times when it was not very busy, and just sort of sat off to a, you know, corner and avoided people. You know, I did that a few times and felt pretty good about it, but then one of those times I was actually chatting with my friend who's the owner, and you know, he was sitting at a table, and I kind of, you know, leaned over on the table and had a discussion with him, and he told me some, you know, some stuff that was going on in his life, and we chatted for, I don't know, like about 10 minutes or so. And neither of us was wearing a mask at that time, and that was pretty much the only place I was going without a mask, just because I knew the, you know, the guy, the owner, and I knew that they were, you know, generally pretty careful about things there. Take out Bo, sure, why not? So anyways, I was chatting with this guy, and then, like, the next day, I got a text from my friend, and he's like, man, last night I felt like crap. I got tested, and I got my results back today, and I'm positive for COVID. So I was like, frack, because, you know, I'm being very careful. I have asthma and young kids, and I'd like to not, you know, contract it if I can, at least back then. I feel like, you know, as time goes on, like, treatments improve, and, you know, obviously we have access to vaccines, and, you know, just basically things get a lot easier to manage risk as time goes on with this COVID stuff. But back then was, you know, a slightly different time. You know, so I definitely am being very, very have been, you know, very careful with everything, and you know, haven't really gone, like, to see friends or do really anything involving, you know, large groups of people or even small groups of people. So I was pretty freaked out about that, and wasn't sure what was going to happen, but anyways, I never got sick. So that's my story. I had another kind of like close contact situation like that, where I was like around somebody, and then like a day or two later they told me they were basically that night they felt bad and ended up getting tested. Donnie Baseball, Mikey Schmidt, but didn't get sick that time either, and that was before any like vaccines were available either, so that was particularly dicey. So I don't know, maybe I have some sort of like innate immunity, or this was back before Omicron, and COVID or the Corona SARS-CoV-2 was not nearly as transmissible. There we go. So this one's a little bit off center. You can see the right border is wider than the left border here compared to the photo. So, not something you would ever consider grading, but now we know this box has not been, gone through. So hopefully we'll get a Griffey. I'm guessing it's going to be a corrected one. I mean, just statistically, there are many more of the corrected Griffies out than the errors. So just, based on that, I'd say odds are very high we got a corrected Griffies in this box, but it will be interesting to see. Recently I turned on ads on my newly posted videos, John Schmaltz rookie. And thought I'd give you guys a little report on that. There's lots of little sort of like gray, I don't know what you want to call them, little like clipping artifacts from the cutter on these cards. They're all over the table I'm at here. Anyways, yeah, the advertising is sort of interesting. I really, I have looked up before, like, how much people make from advertising on YouTube videos, per, like, 1,000 views of the video. And it depends a fair bit on, like, what your subject matter is. Like, if you do a personal finance channel, I think you're gonna make a lot more, per, like, video view than, like, somebody who basically does what I do, because, nobody wants to advertise to baseball card collectors for whatever reason. And that's okay, but, get a lot of Orioles here, but not the one we want. So anyways, I wasn't really sure. I have a few channels that you all know about because I talk about them. But this channel, ASMR Sports, is by far my biggest channel. So I don't have any direct experience with what people make, and I was very curious to see. But like the first video I turned it on for, gosh, what was that? I think it was my Hall of Fame baseball tops collection. And anyway, so the day I posted that, I think I made like $8 off that, which, I mean, if I was relying on that to make a living, I'd be in some dire straits. Because that's like a half-hour video, right? So I guess that's like $16 an hour. And then I think, like, I checked today, and like the second day it made like, $1.50 more. And if you post a video that has like some longevity to it, some long-term interest, like maybe it's a how-to video, and people are gonna search, for things on that topic and find your video. Like, you might get a lot of views over time, but my videos tend to, get viewed when I release them and then not too much afterwards. I will say that I looked at like my most, viewed videos over time, and I definitely have videos that have gotten like 40,000 views. So, if I had ads on those, I presume I would make a fair bit from those videos, and it, over a period of like 3 or 4 years, right? But I don't know, every little bit helps. I mean, if I were to get $8 every time I posted a video, and I posted, I don't know, let's say 15 videos a month, I mean, it's like, I could get a hobby box of something and throw it in the fireplace. I don't have a fireplace, but if I did, I could throw it in there and be coming out ahead. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun. It's exciting. It gives you just a little bit of like additional incentive to post more often and to try to do things that are gonna, be of interest to a lot of people. So that's my story. I like to be very transparent. You know that if you watch this channel. Even though I keep my identity is super secret. I like to kind of share how I, price things and like, I don't know, like where I get stuff and things like that, just because I think that's kind of interesting to a lot of people in the sports card industry. And if I have learned something that I think others would want to know, I like to share that to the extent I can. Sometimes, I'm not able to share things because whatever, confidentiality or what have you, doesn't happen much, but it can happen. But if I can improve people's understanding of things related to like sports card selling and all the things related to it, I'm happy to do that, and I like to do that. And I know people probably come to expect that from me, so I want to keep that going. Well, we're down to 3 packs. I don't know if we're going to get a Bill Ripken, but we already got a Griffey. So, that's half the battle. A Randy Johnson would be cool too. I mean, I know that's almost certainly not going to be one of the more valuable variations, but still would be good to have. I feel like that heat was on for like freaking ever. Barry, I'm sure we'll take Barry out. Okay, last pack. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we get a Randy Johnson or a Ripken? A Bill Ripken. Greg Jeffries. Nice. Man, I just remember back in '88, his stuff was just so hot. Sell those bad boys for $7-8 a pop. Not the 89s, but the 88 rookie cards of his. Oh, is our last card? No. Well, we got skunked. That's alright, guys. That's alright. So this box, I was trying to think, like, I bought these 89 Fleer boxes in a, large collection of stuff, probably like 4, 5, 6 years ago, something like that. So there was a ton of stuff, and I paid, a single price for all of it. I'm sure at the time I kind of like, when I was contacted by the feller that I bought this stuff from, I kind of like put like what my price was. Forgot to pull that box out. For all the individual boxes in the collection. And I would guess at that time I probably put like $10 a box or so of value on these 89 Fleer boxes. And nowadays I think you're going to spend for an unwrapped box maybe $25-$30, for a wrapped box maybe $30 to $35, I think, is what these would go for. So if I'm only into this box for like $10 and I get a lot of views on it, then I might make $10 in advertising, so that'd be a win for me. No break even, I can't go wrong with that. I guess you could say I've got opportunity cost, because I could have sold it for like $30, but that's all right. I'm just moving my garbage can over. I'm gonna throw these all these wrappers away. So yeah, if you're do you see all these little like paper shavings here on the table before me? I kind of want to get these all out of here. Now we'll do some sleeving. How's that sound? If you have a hankering for any 89 Donruss or Fleer, I do have, again, I have PPCE wrapped boxes of both that are not from a sealed case, but I think are all basically in their original form, and like what's the term I'm looking for? They're all packs original to the box from what I've seen. Can't guarantee Billy Ripkins, unfortunately, one way or another. But if you want to go check those out, I wouldn't be selling them for Bill Ripkin prices, Bill Ripkin error box prices. Maybe I'll take that out and put it in a top loader. But anyways, yeah, I got quite a few of both. I don't have either of those on my site. I do have, for 89, I do have, I think, some 89 Upper Deck high number series packs still, I think, available for sale if you're looking for Griffey stuff. If I can find any like packs of this stuff that are not in sealed, like BBC sealed boxes. I will put them up and link on this video, but I'm guessing I don't have any. Just a realized a couple days ago I had not posted these guys on my hotcardboard.com e-commerce site. Online sports card shop. I'm gonna call it e-commerce site. Sounds so sterile. But these are pretty high quality sleeves that I got a pretty good deal on a while ago, and I've got these listed at $1.99 on my site. I've been actually slipping these into a lot of orders. If you have kind of a larger, I don't know, like $100 plus order, I've been randomly slipping these guys in as freebies. And so other than that, I don't think I've gotten rid of any, but I did recently put these on the site at $1.99, and I think like the Ultra Pro sleeves are $2.49, so those are a little bit cheaper, but I think they're pretty good quality. Cardboard Gold makes some pretty good stuff. I think they're definitely you know, right after Ultra Pro in terms of product quality. And I also have lots of these Pro Save brand top loaders that I've talked about before. These are kind of an off-brand top loader, but I think they're pretty good quality. They're actually like very similar in my view in terms of the plastic clarity and like its color. It's the same as what I see in Ultra Pro. Actually, let me see. This is a thick Ultra Pro, not a thin one, but you can see like the colors. Well, it's a little bit hard to tell in this lighting, but like the color is very much the same, which is kind of a good indicator of the quality of plastic that's in there. Anyways, but these are a bit cheaper than Ultra Pros. So if you're looking for some relatively good quality, cheap top loaders, check those out. I've got those on the site as well, and I'll link that up. Alright, well that's all I got for today, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you all next time, and as always, let me know if you have ideas for things you'd like to see, and I'll see if I can pull it off. Alright, have a great one.